Hello, everyone. My name is Keaton Douglas, and I am the Executive Director of the I Thirst Initiative, a mission of the missionary servants of the Most Holy Trinity. I'm so excited to come to you today to share my thoughts on our Holy Spirit and how the Holy Spirit can work in the providence of our daily lives. Indeed, how the Holy Spirit can get us fired up to go do the work that He wants us to do. Today, I'd like to share with you a little bit about my story and a little bit about what motivates me in the actions that I undertake on a daily basis, prompted always by the Holy Spirit. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the missionary servants of the Most Holy Trinity. They are the community of priests and brothers with whom I work, who are indeed on the front lines of serving those who are poor and abandoned. They were founded 103 years ago by a Vincentian priest by the name of Father Thomas Augustine Judge. He understood prophetically, I think, that amongst those who were poor and abandoned were also those who were suffering from substance use disorders or drug and alcohol addiction, primarily alcoholism back in his day. And so this blessed community has been on the forefront of working with our brothers and sisters who have been suffering for the last 103 years in various manifestations. One of the important things that Father Judge always spoke of was the concept that every Catholic is an apostle. I love that idea. Could you imagine waking up every morning with the same zeal, the same fervor that the original 12 had to go out and to indeed carry the message of the healing mercies of Jesus Christ to those all over the world? It's what motivates me on a daily basis to do the work I do. And what is the work of I Thirst? Well, the words I thirst, first and foremost, are from the fifth of the last seven utterances of Jesus on the cross in the Gospel of John. We remember him saying, I thirst. But indeed, thirst is also an acronym: the Healing Initiative, Recovery, Spirituality, and 12-Step. It is a three-pronged program that we have developed in conjunction with the missionary servants of the Most Holy Trinity to empower our church to be a resource for those who are suffering from the disease of addiction and for their families. There are programs of education and prevention. There are programs that help us support the needs of those who are incarcerated and those who are in treatment. And lastly, there are programs that help us develop aftercare and community building for those that are suffering, and indeed for the entire community to become involved. We consider I Thirst to be a 21st century manifestation of the beautiful work of serving those with addictions that Father Judge began all those years ago. It gives us such pleasure and such joy to see people emerge from the abyss of addiction and begin their own journey of transformation in an effort to find not only their authentic selves, but a true relationship, an authentic relationship with their God. What beautiful work indeed. But for me personally, it wasn't always so. I didn't always seek to serve those. It was because of the Holy Spirit that I began this journey. You see, many years ago, and for many years, I was an entertainer, performing and being blessed to sing all over the world with various big band organizations and orchestras. It was an exciting lifestyle. But somewhere along the way, and in my personal life, I met with the demise unexpectedly of my first marriage, which pretty much set me off kilter. And I must be honest that for about 8 years, I left our holy church and I left our faith. I didn't really think that there was anything for me there anymore. But thanks be to God, through a beautiful act and mercy and forgiveness, I was brought back to our faith and brought back to our church in a really profound way. And I remember being asked to speak about this profound change in my life that had occurred because I had had a spiritual healing, indeed, a spiritual awakening. I was asked to speak before rosary societies and communion breakfasts, and it was wonderful. But one day I was asked to speak before 25 women who were on a spiritual retreat. Each one of these women were suffering from the disease of addiction, primarily from heroin addiction and from alcoholism. I have to tell you, I was frightened. I had never smoked marijuana even once in my life, and I thought, why on earth would they want to listen to anything I had to say? Well, the gentleman who became my blessed mentor said to me, do you not think that there's something you can teach these ladies? And I thought, well, I suppose there's something I can teach them. And then he said to me, is there nothing that you think they can teach you? It was a mind-blowing moment. But I can truly say it was a moment that changed my life. Because as I began speaking to these women, they listened attentively. And when I laughed and told my story, they laughed. When I cried, they cried. And one of the most profound things that I had ever learned was that it didn't matter what had broken us. We were all children of God, spiritual sisters in need of spiritual healing. I had been afforded that, and they were in need. And we saw each other without judgment, but only through the lens of Christ's love and mercy. I remember leaving there that day and having this feeling of euphoria. I can't call it anything else. I've never felt that way before, and I have certainly never felt that way since, but it was truly a euphoria, a breathing as if every cell in my body were fully oxygenated, as if I were flying. It was such an unusual feeling that I wound up going to see my parish priest the next morning at daily mass and asking him, what is this feeling that I have had? And he said to me, Keaton, I think you have been called. And I said, oh, Father, it can't be. And he said, well, Keaton, the Holy Spirit calls everybody. Not everybody listens. And so it began my great journey of beginning to truly listen to the promptings of the Holy Spirit. It is what took me from a career in music to a career in service to those suffering from addictions and for their families. It is this career that has enabled me and helped me to help empower our church to be this resource that we need to be, the koinonia that we as brothers and sisters in Christ are called to be. And it's so exciting to see that we truly can be missionaries, just like Father Judge had told us. We can be missionaries in our daily lives as well, carrying that message. Apostle means messenger in Greek. Being those apostles, those missionaries, going out into the world beyond the pews and conveying the message of love and mercy to those all over the world. The beautiful thing about Father Judge's message of mercy is that we can be missionaries in our workplace, not only in some far off land, we can be missionaries in our workplace, in our churches. We can be missionaries when we see somebody at the grocery store. Indeed, we can be missionaries even across the dinner table from our loved ones. But it is through listening to the promptings of the Holy Spirit every day that gives us the fire to do whatever work the Spirit is calling us to do. I hope, indeed I pray, that you too this Pentecost and beyond will become fired up to truly begin to listen to the promptings of the Holy Spirit in the providence of your daily life. I hope and I pray that you get fired up, even if it means doing something that you never thought that you would wind up doing. The Holy Spirit calls us to all sorts of things. That Spirit has changed my life. That Spirit and the promptings of that Spirit have enabled me to go out and live a life of service to others. And indeed, I hope that Spirit gives you that same apostolic zeal and fervor and fires you up in the day-to-day of your daily life as well. Thank you so much, and God bless you.